She's the founder of livingpostcards.com, so it's livingpostcards.com project. She's a digital marketeer and author, a keynote speaker, and a founder of the global platform livingpostcards.com. She's also a Greek chapter leader of the organization Nations of Women.com. And she'll talk about the ways AI will change our workspace.
Thank you. I think you can hear me, yes. Forgive my notes, because of my age, I don't have a great memory. So, good afternoon. For many decades, and as long as I can remember even myself, we used to think that a person's worth was measured by how long he could stay in the same job until the day of the retirement. It was very important to get a job, to find any kind of job, in order to be successfully appreciable. Of course, as we were growing up, we understood that this was a lie. It was a different era. Society was completely different. We were hired by a company, and we were sure that if we were working endlessly hours, we will get promoted, and we will be very, very successful in society. And it has nothing to do that this was an attempt to stay in our comfort zone. It was not that we didn't want to take any unnecessarily risks. Society was completely different. We had the feeling of security. We know that things will never change drastically, and we had in our mind that one job is our own lifestyle security. Of course, digital transformation is here to stay. It's a fact, and we cannot run away from it. The truth is that today we have to discuss about all the conveniences that this digital transformation has already brought in our lives. But we must be able to talk also about the fear, the uncertainty, and the problems that many people have to move forward in order not to be left behind. Iliada Kothra, and 10 years ago I had the idea to make a digital platform that would support new innovative brands in Greece that they were born in the middle of Greek financial crisis. Through this platform, I had the opportunity to meet a lot of brand owners and their teams, and today I can see that these people are very confused. Should we be afraid of artificial intelligence? Many decades ago, the mindset of the working place was very romantic, was very secure. People were going to their offices, and they were optimistic. It was a totally different world. Even women were getting very independent. A new role model was beginning to be born in the global world. Of course, the next decades of 80s and 90s brought us to a next dilemma. We were working a lot of hours just to get enough of money. And money was the ultimate goal. We wanted the round corner in the office. We wanted to be successful. There was no balance between work life and personal life. And only John McCarthy, maybe he was one of the few men that he was sure to prevent the future and to understand about the big changes that are coming in our working fields. In some years, it's estimated 95 million jobs will be created involving artificial intelligence. And of course, the truth is that today, we cannot be sure that we are 100% productive. There are a lot of things that we do in our jobs that they don't give us the biggest picture. We're just working, and sometimes we work without vision, without inspiration, just to have a job. The next step will be working with machines. And many companies today, they have like a strategy to find employees with amazing skills, but it's not so easy. We cannot find people that they will be ready to will and cooperate with machines. And of course, machines have nothing to do with this kind of creatures we used to watch through Hollywood movies. And they don't come to take our jobs. They don't came in a hostile mood to take our jobs. And it's not a game. Artificial intelligence has already changed our lives in many ways that many times we cannot even understand it. But every day we live and we work with artificial intelligence in many ways. Thanks God, artificial intelligence is already used for safer transportations. We can feel the value of a co-driver and a driver that there is no here next to us, but we can understand because there are systems that control the speed of our car, speed and not only speed, sorry, I've lost. I tell you, I'm a loud lady. You have to be patient. And the speed, the stability of our car. And in the future, we will be able to have systems that they will be able to control the fatigue of our drivers. So the trips will be pleasant and most of all, they will be safe. And on the other hand, there's an ethical question. What will happen to millions of people that work in transportation industries? If you are a 45 man that you are a truck driver, what will happen in 10 years? How can you be sure that you get a retirement from your job? The truth is, you cannot be sure. In medicine, artificial intelligence, as we all know, will bring the biggest positive. But we cannot be sure today that we can trust our body for an open heart surgery. Some people say that I can go and have, a medical exam, but I cannot trust a machine for a very big surgery. And chatbots, we're used to chatbots. Many people I know, it's very strange, it's very funny actually, they still believe that chatbots are humans. And this is a disturbing truth about how well the chatbots do their job. It's a proof how intelligent those chatbots are. And on the other hand, there is a big possibility that in the next 10 or 15 years, HR will have chatbots. I don't know if an employee that has to face bullying in the job can have the freedom to go to a chatbot, to speak with a chatbot, and find a solution. The only key is the collaboration with technology. And we have to work together because together we can achieve better and strategic priorities and have better decisions. The problem is not only about decision. The problem is in HR and the way that we will hire people in our company. First of all, the first change will be in our workplaces. Workplaces will remind us nothing of the workplaces we have to deal in the past decades. Sensors, connected devices will give us not only smart homes, smart cities, but only smart offices. We will have lighting control, space management, room control, not to mention the virtual reality that will be able to have a lot of meetings no matter in which place of the world we can be that moment. HR is a very crucial sector of each company. And technology will help us in hiring process. There's already many companies that use artificial intelligence in order to hire their people, through facial recognition, for example. There are also some companies that have already replaced their HR managers with technology. And of course, how can we be sure that an algorithm can hire the right people in the right time? And let's say, for example, that through analyzing thousands of social profiles, you can see a lady that she has a PhD, but in the photo, she has her face semi-covered up because she's a Muslim, for example. How algorithm can provide discriminations and bring this lady to the company. There are some researchers that show that black men and black women have less possibilities to be hired by companies. Even now, we don't know what will happen if we have only HR systems dedicated by algorithms and artificial intelligence. And this is one of the best things that artificial intelligence, I think, that will bring in our companies. After the pandemic, we can never be sure that the planet will not have to deal again with another virus, with another name, but with different results. And we want to save our precious productive time by automating many procedures in the future. Also, remote artificial intelligence will help remote workers by automating tasks that would normally take a lot of time to be completed manually. We will be able to control even telerobotics if we work in our house. And above all, I think that we will be able to achieve a better balance between work and personal life. No one wants to work many hours and feel burnout. No one is happy, and we all know what fatigue and stress can bring. Injuries and accidents. Many industries today include dangerous chemicals, dangerous machines, and gas. And this is where artificial intelligence can help 100%. So we can improve job safety and reduce the number of accidents. And many companies pay a lot of money every year for injuries and accidents. Because tired people are very vulnerable to injuries, and stressed people are very vulnerable to dangers. We can take advantage of the fact that machines will never ask 1 month to spend their Christmas with their family. They will not have to be home to recover from burnout. They will not ask August to go on vacations with their family. So the result will be an amazing revenue for the companies and big productivity. The employees will have the time to be focused in the biggest picture instead of doing monotonous and mundane tasks. And with this kind of productivity, our decisions can be automated. We will be able to understand which opportunities are best to be seized based only on facts and on data. The need for human decision will be automatically replaced by another one. And with analytics, we can choose the best marketing message instead of needing a marketing manager to do so. Of course, it's all talk. In order to achieve all those big changes in companies, we have to change the way the companies have their own leaders. We have to have a data-driven culture and different kind of leaderships. Above all, I think we need the leaders that they are ready to take their teams to the next level. They're leaders that will reassure their team that they have nothing to be afraid, and the leaders that they are ready to invest in their own people, educate their people, and make their job more human and with empathy. There is a brand, I think I read it some weeks ago in internet. There is a brand that uses recommendations, AI recommendations for the clients. It's a styling brand, and many people ask for a great outfit and great, to look amazing. And they decided to hire humans because they had one dilemma. They had one client that she was going to dinner with her ex-boyfriend, and she wanted to make him regret that he left here. So there is some things that machines cannot do. We humans we have some darkest feelings. We have some thoughts that sometimes are totally primitive, but a machine cannot help in this. Only a human can understand what a woman or a man or a customer can really want. And in the end of the day, I think that the companies will need us. The only thing we can do is to trust people behind technology, because technology is not something that happens just like that. There are people behind it. We have to be open-minded, we have to be ready to adapt to a new reality, and to understand that we're going to a new era. As always was the same history. Life is changing completely, and it's nothing that we can do to prevent it. I want to thank you because you were very passionate with my stress and my anxious. And I think I am less in time, dear. He doesn't hear me. And I'm ready to talk about anything you want. I promise I won't be anxious this time. The age doesn't change, sorry. Only stress. I had to. You have empathy. You have empathy. In my age, I faced the risk of. I had the risk of being unemployed, and this is the reason that I took the decision to make something on my own. I'm 55 years old, and I cannot be very optimistic about my own future. So I had to learn, I had to make a platform, I had to work with data analysts and CEOs professionals in order to have something that maybe will give me money as long as I grow older. So I am yours to ask me anything. I think I can ask, I can answer. I see him. No. Yes?
Because you spoke a lot about human resources and to put a little cover, first time when I come to Belgrade, it was no more than 15 years ago. I visited the city and guide me to the city of Michelin map, a paper like this.
Uh-huh.
Now, finding the hotel was much easy using the computer.
Of course.
But what I'm sure that will not be able to be reproduced by machines, at least in our lifetime, it's human imaginations. And in HR field, I think no machine will be able to predict something about how a human will act in imaginative jobs. Do you think that it's somehow else, the situation?
You believe that we cannot predict the future, or we cannot predict the way that we will react in conditions like this? We can never know, because we make some estimations, but time changes every day very quickly. Conditions change very quickly. I was in Belgrade some centuries ago, centuries, when even political situation was completely different. And I understand what you're saying. But about HR, it's a very crucial sector, because I have met a lot of people that are very unsatisfied by the way that HR managers treat them. And you know, HR is a department that has a lot of power, but you have to have very stable and logical, full of empathy managers to work with so many employees. On the other hand, maybe it's better to be replaced with machines. But on the other hand, it's what I said. I don't know if there is an issue of bullying. How can a person be in contact with a chatbot if we don't have people in these positions? I don't know if I answer your. We never know what will happen in the future, because future goes amazingly quickly. I was in a speech decades in university, and there is a lady that she was talking to us about what the future will bring. And there was a guy, he was 20 years old, and he was very angry because he was saying that that's amazing. These things will never happen. People will always need to be hugged, to have sex with another, to go for a walk, to hug an animal. All these things that you're saying, it's total imagination. And the professor, she asked him, how old are you? And he told them 20. And she told, you are already very old for what I'm saying. Many things will change drastically. The only thing we can do is to be open and to find solutions. Of course, some professions will be out of the market. This is for sure. Yes, that's happening. Yes, from the beginning of this world. This is something. Yes, it's normal, of course. This will happen and will happen again and again. We have to be open and find our own solutions. The only thing is that this time it's happening very quickly, and we cannot. We don't sometimes have, the power and the patience to see the changes and bring the changes in our own lives. This is. Our time?
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions? Any more questions? If not,
I don't think they understand all the things that I said. That's why they don't ask questions. To be 100% honest.
Actually,
I understood, okay.
Now that you say it,
The second man.
I understood, and not only understood, I also loved your presentation, and specifically I loved the passion that you have in presenting how artificial intelligence is going to impact, of course, the workplace and many people's jobs. Mm-hmm. It is unknown that technological disruptions every few years will swipe away entire industries, and there will be millions of people, if not hundreds of millions of people, who will lose their jobs.
Yes.
And will have the need to reinvent themselves. So
Yes.
I would like to congratulate you on starting something on your own and putting passion into it, because I think it's inevitable that all of us at a certain point will need to perhaps reinvent ourselves, maybe find a different job in a different industry. And this brings me to the point that I think it's absolutely important that we start to teach kids from now.
Yes.
The emotional resilience of dealing with changing in their future and changing in their in the job that they will have. So I just wanted to comment that this is something super important that we start to do through also the education system. So I think all of us need to do it with our kids, need to do it in our schools. We need to talk about it, because this is something that is going to impact millions of people and will lead to have what Yuval Noah Harari calls the useless class, the people who will not find a job and they will not find a purpose in life, because working and purpose in life sometimes are strictly connected.
Yes, yes. I agree with you, because when I was growing up, I had only one advice from my parents: get a job in order to be secure. And today, we have to say to our kids that if they want to be, for example, doctors or journalists, even now, artificial intelligence can write amazing text and can be, in many, you read an article and you think it's written by a human, but it's written by a machine. So we have to reinvent ourselves and be open to a new challenges. And the companies must be open to new challenges and be next to the employees, because employees feel a lot of confusion. And as they're getting older, this confusion is getting bigger. And we all know what happens all around the world. People leave their jobs because they are up to here. They want to do something else. They feel that a life that you just work without inspiration and vision, it's totally useless. And this, in this era, digital that we're living, it's much more useless than 20 years ago, for example. Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.